over there playing peanuts.
You are going to be playing Radio City Music Hall on September 22nd.
Thank you. I'm doing Radio City Music Hall September 22nd in New York City. Tech TV called Super Maximum Retro Show that premieres in March. And I have a front. My butt's in the front. I got surgery to put my butt in the front.
Last week was packed with some very exciting news for all the Chris Distefano fans out there. In addition to announcing his biggest show yet at the legendary Radio City Music Hall in New York City, Chrissy D is also set to become the host of a brand new show on Vice TV called the Super Maximum Retro Show, which will debut early next week. To share some more about all of his big announcements, it's now my pleasure to welcome the one and only Chris Distefano to our show. Now, during the time of this interview, Chris is on the road in Canada, so our Zoom might freeze at times, the connection might lag a little bit, but who cares? We got Chris Distefano on the freaking comedy news. Let's just enjoy it. Chris, thank you for being here, man.
Thank you so much. I'm in Vancouver right now, so it's nice. It's really nice if you like fish, if you like the mountains, and if you like Asian women, then I would come to Vancouver.
Beautiful. Well, besides being in Vancouver right now for a festival, I hear you have some other big news to share with the comedy world.
Yep, I have. I'm doing Radio City Music Hall September 22nd in New York City. My biggest show ever. I'm from New York. Started comedy in New York. This place called the Maui Taco. So I'm excited to go from the Maui Taco now to Radio City. So chrisdcomedy.com for tickets. I have a bunch of other stand-up dates. Florida. I'm in Tech TV called Super Maximum Retro Show that premieres in March. And I have a front. My butt's in the front. I got surgery to put my butt in the front.
I think that's the big news we were really looking for, the front butt.
Yeah.
So I'd like to talk about all those things pretty quickly. Radio City, that's big for you. You're from New York. Does that mean anything extra being a kid in New York and now you're getting to play a legendary venue there?
Yeah, it does, because, a lot of times, in these other cities and, get to play the theater there or whatever. And it'll be my first time ever seeing that place. But Radio City, I've walked past and looked at, hundreds of times in my life, been to shows there. When it stand up, like when I made the decision to do it, I'm from Queens, Brooklyn area. And, I remember thinking, if you're going to do this, then you have to go do it now. Like, I went right from the elliptical machine at Force Fitness in Ridgewood, Queens, and I went right to do my first open mic. And I don't know, when I put Radio City on sale, it just brought me back to that time, because a lot of times I'm not proud of myself. I'll just beat the shit out of myself or be like, whatever thing that may go good in my life will always create some reason in my head to be like, well, that it doesn't mean as much as you think it does, blah, blah, blah. But for this one, I was just actually, for the first time in my career, just be like, you know what, just take this in and be proud of yourself that you have accomplished this.
Yeah, for sure. I saw your reel on Instagram. It's pretty emotional. 13 years of work going into this, all leading up to this point. Is there an over-under for tears on September 22nd?
Yeah, I feel like, my mom's definitely going to cry. I also have a quite a big schizophrenic fan base, so they'll probably be crying for no reason. And I think if I see my dad anywhere in the venue, if I I'll probably start crying.
That's awesome. So 2 more questions before we go here about the Super Maximum Retro Show. Just overall, what's the premise of the Super Maximum Retro Show?
The Super Maximum Retro Show, it's basically from the 1970s, 80s, and 90s, things that would have looked back and see the world used to be. Mm-hmm. And how you could so much on television, in the movie, and back. I froze.
Oh yeah, you froze. Now you're just unfrozen a little bit.
Did I freeze again?
No. Well, now you're unfrozen.
Hi.
But yeah, good now. I think we got the gist of it, and I can definitely explain it more in between the clips. I just have one more question for you. In this new age of comedians making things independently, a lot of people are self-producing things. Many comedy fans just assume that any show produced by a network could be overly PC or a little watered down. So on this show, will you be able to say stuff like Bing Fung into the duck sauce?
Yes, I will be. I'm saying things even worse than Bing Fung into the duck sauce on the show. Actually, I got to give Vice TV credit and Kimmel credit. They really let a lot of the edgier stuff stay in the show, and they fought for it as much as they can. So I respect that. Yeah. So, so you will. This is it's on late at night. So this is why it's one of those things where it's like they kind of just let us go for it, which I respect.
Yeah, that sounds awesome. All right, so we can check that out either beginning of March. I'll figure out an exact date on that. It's the topic of this whole video, so I'm sure we know what the date is by now. Chris Distefano, thank you so much for joining us today here on Joke World. It was a pleasure talking to you, man.
Thank you, my friend.
According to this show's own description, the Super Maximum Retro Show is a 30-minute comedic clip show that brings together a panel of hosts, Chris Distefano, and 3 special guests from the entertainment industry to comment, joke, and make fun of some of the most absurd things to come out of the 70s, 80s, and 90s. The Super Maximum Retro Show will debut next Tuesday, March 7th at 10 p.m. Eastern, only on Vice TV. Longtime co-host of The Bonfire, Dan Soder, announced last week that he's officially leaving the show, with his last episode alongside Big J Okerson happening on March 1st. Many comedy fans were deeply saddened by this news, but apparently it's no big surprise, as Dan Soder's been playing with the idea of leaving the show for over a year now.
March 1st will be my last day on the show. I'm going to be
That was a Band-Aid rip. Jesus H. Christ.
I told you, dude, I was going to rip it. But March 1st is going to be my last day on The Bonfire. However, The Bonfire will continue with Big J and Bobby Kelly.
Is Robert Kelly. Bobby Kelly's going to jump in.
Which I can't now. I did just rip the Band-Aid, so we got to go and talk a lot about it.
I thought we were going to have dramatic build-up.
I don't know. I'm bad at this. I don't know. I just wanted to throw it up.
That was real climax right away.
I just came fast.
Yeah.
It's all over my pants.
What if people weren't listening yet?
Yeah. Well, I mean...
You have to remind him after every commercial break, if you're back, it's Dan's announcement that he's leaving in a week, 2 weeks.
And we got fall next week.
Yeah, next week.
We
probably should re-announce every commercial break.
Yeah, coming back. It's Bonfire, which I will be leaving.
On one commercial break, it'll just be Bobby when he come back.
He goes, "Hey, how you doing? I'm Dan."
Format change.
Hey, Dan. I wear wrestling shirts, dude.
There are only 2 comedians ever in the running to replace Dan Soder as Big J's partner. Apparently, the choice came down to Robert Kelly or Joe DeRosa, with Bobby Kelly eventually being named the newest member of the Bonfire team via Instagram, where he said, quote, "Can't wait to take this crazy ride with Big J, Okerson, and the Bonfire crew. I'm honored to be joining such an amazing show. I would never dream of filling Dan Soder's shoes because that could never be done, but I will guarantee Jay and I will have a blast and continue to keep the Bonfire burning." Guest spots from last week. Your Mom's House had on Matt Fultron, no Christina P. Two Bears, One Cave was Tom and Ryan Holiday. Kill Tony Tonight is with Brian Moses and Ty Rivera. Flagrant had on Johnny Mitchell. Kelsey Cook was on The Honeydew with Ryan Sickler. Andrew Schultz was on The Blocks podcast with Neil Brennan. And Joe DeRosa was on Matt and Shane's Secret Podcast.
Where'd you get that shirt from, dude?
I bought it off the internet. All right, cardigan, you fucking pussy. Clear glasses, cardigans, dude.
You better watch,
Chucks,
dude.
cool socks. Shut up.
I'll beat you up in your own apartment.
You literally look like a fucking. You look like a third grade teacher.
What were you just gonna say, dude?
Nothing.
Dude, what were you just gonna say?
That's for real. My third grade teacher's outfit. She was a woman.
Yeah.
She was a dumb woman.
Do you think I won't slap you on your own couch?
I'd love to beat the fuck out of you.
This past weekend with Theo Von was a solo episode. The Joe Rogan Experience came out with a brand new Protect Our Parks featuring Shane Gillis, Ari Shaffir, and Mark Normand. Whiskey Ginger had on Megan Trainor. The Are You Garbage Boys were on Take Your Shoes Off with Rick Glassman. Ralph Barbosa was on the Chrissy Chaos podcast. Bobby Lee was on You Know What Dude with Robert Kelly. And Tiger Belly did not have a guest. As far as new stand-up specials go, they're either coming out soon or already out. Drew Lynch has a new special out on his YouTube channel right now called Drew Lynch and These Are Jokes. That came out 3 days ago and it seems pretty good. I would definitely give that a look if you are a comedy fan. Also, Burt Kreischer Razzle Dazzle is coming out on Netflix on March 14th. I saw that show live, did a whole recap video right here on this channel, so check that out if you want to learn more about what that hour of comedy is like. Kelsey Cook's new special, The Hustler, is set to come out tomorrow, February 28th. And Big J Okerson has a special coming out April 5th called Dog Belly, getting close to that date, so fans are getting excited. That special will also be on YouTube. There's so many specials coming out right now or being announced to come out later, so I'm sure I missed some. Please let me know in the comments what specials I need to be reporting on next week. I'll make sure those get in there. That does it for this episode of the Joke World Comedy News Update. As always, thank you so much for watching this video, and we'll be back again next Monday with some more comedy news. Shout out to Chris Distefano for joining the show today. That was pretty sweet. If you live near New York City, go check him out September 22nd at Radio City Music Hall. That show should be awesome. We did make some edits to our conversation with Chris just because the internet was acting up and stuff. So if you want to check out our full interview with Chris Distefano, that'll be posted on our second channel, Clip World, sometime later this week. That's all I got for you guys today. Go follow us on Instagram if you're not a dumb bastard. I really hope you enjoyed this episode, you enjoyed the interview. We're going to get to do more of these coming soon for you guys, so hopefully we'll have the interviews with the actual stories we're talking about coming out soon. Make sure you're subscribed to Joke World. Tap into everything we're doing right here because we got a bunch of videos coming out later this week. I hate that I was like, tap into what we're doing, but we got a lot of videos coming out later this week, so just get involved, dude. Just fucking get involved. And thanks again, Chris. Thanks again for all of you for supporting the channel, making it something that Chris Distefano would want to come on. Thank you to Brian. That's it. See you next week.